Let's not waste any time on intros for this one and jump right into things I wish I knew earlier in Granblue Fantasy Relink. The first major thing I didn't realize until way too late is that if you go into the Masteries menu, then go over to the Collections Weapon tab and make sure you're upgrading all of the weapons for the characters you're using, even the ones you don't have equipped or you don't plan on using at all. The reason for this is that just because that mastery is for that weapon, it doesn't mean you only get it when that weapon is equipped, meaning that by upgrading these you get the passives on your character as an overall and not just by equipping that weapon. So getting all of the weapons for your main character to max level is definitely a must. On a similar note, make sure you're doing all of the fate missions for your character as soon as they become available. These are literally just free stat boosts you can get for your character permanently for just reading some dialogue. It's like 2 of them per character where you actually need to defeat an enemy, but most of them are literally just text, so you can scroll through that as quickly as you can, and you get free stat boosts permanently on your characters. Something else that's very useful if you plan on testing out a new character is that if you go back onto your ship by fast traveling here to the Grand Cipher, there's actually a training dummy in the corner that you can practice against and test out all of your moves, which is a great way to actually experiment with new characters without needing to go into any combat against an actual enemy. Make sure you remember to go into Lyria's journal every now and then and click on the trophies. These are like in-game challenges and achievements you can accomplish. And then click on claim all rewards and you'll get a bunch of free stuff just for doing in-game achievements that you're going to be doing anyway. So make sure you claim those every now and then. A major part of the game, especially once you hit post-game, is going to be farming knick-knack vouchers. These are the things you use to generate more sigils in the sigil transmutation. Of course, the basic way to get knick-knack vouchers is just trading in old sigils and materials that you don't plan on using to get knick-knack vouchers, then use those to transmute into randomly generated new sigils and stones. And there's actually a really fast method of farming knick-knack vouchers. This wasn't found by me, I seen it on Reddit by a user named MobileJuggernaut998, so shout out to you if you're watching this. Pretty much what this consists of is going into the Extreme quest tab, and the second one down called Assault Formation. It's a survival that lasts literally 4 minutes. And if you're a decent level, you can pretty much solo this into S++ anyway to get maximum rewards. Especially if you are using Narmaya, you can literally just stand in the center of where the 2 set of enemies spawn and wait for them to jump down with your charged square attack and then just wipe everything out as soon as they touch the floor every time. The reason we're doing this specific quest is that you get a bunch of machine units and high-grade scraps as a reward. Obviously depending on how well you do, but as long as you get in 5 stars, you should be getting anywhere between 60 and 80 machine units and anywhere between 15 and 20 high-grade scraps. So then if you go back to the knick-knack vouchers and trade treasures, and as you can see, by just trading in the machine units and high-grade scraps we got just from this one run we did on that quest, we're getting over 220 vouchers, I believe that is off the top of my head. So yeah, over 200 vouchers per 4-minute run is pretty amazing. Speaking of really good sigils, you want to make sure you're getting both legendary sigils for your character. These, I believe, become available in post-game, but they may be a little bit earlier. I'm not exactly sure on exactly when they become available, so check back in the shop every now and then. But if you go into Trade Treasure and then go over to the Sigils tab, you can see here that each character has a legendary sigil. As for the second legendary sigil for each character, you want to go into the Trade Dahlia Badges, and then go over to the Gold Dahlia Badges tab. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to find legendary sigils for each character as well. These are usually insanely overpowered sigils, so definitely make sure you've got both of these for your main character. The final sigil I'm going to recommend in this video is going to be the Krabby Resonance. This sigil becomes more powerful depending on how many of those little wee pincers were found throughout the story. There are a total of 45 of them to be found. We have a video in the description down below if you want to check that out of the location of every single one. Once we've found all 45 of the pincers, this sigil gives us plus 1000 attack, which is pretty good for a single sigil. And you get it for talking to the boy NPC here down by the pond in the first town, which is the one that gives you the side quest for the wee pincers in the first place. One of the major things that 99% of the players neglect in this game, once they hit mid to late game, is going to be the damage cap. Many people don't realize that they're hitting their damage cap way earlier than they expect. Meaning you've probably got a bunch of attack power, crit rate, crit damage sigils on your character, without realizing that you're already fully capped out and you're actually not doing any more damage than if you had just like 1 or 2 on. And the reason for this is you simply don't have enough damage cap sigils on your character. The best way to check if you are hitting your damage cap and you need some more damage cap sigils on your character is go to the training dummy back on the ship and simply just spam away your attacks at the dummy. And if you notice you're always hitting consistently like one number it won't go over, that means you're at your damage cap. So then go and stick some more damage cap sigils on your character, come back and hit the dummy again, and if it does go over that number, it means you were capped. And I can almost guarantee if you're in pretty much late game and you haven't put any damage cap sigils on your character, you've probably already hit your damage cap a while ago. And finally, there are a few extra tips that didn't quite make the cut into this video, but I'm going to throw them out there just I'm sure it'll help someone out if you are just starting out. When you're in the blacksmith menu and you're trying to craft or upgrade a weapon, and you don't have enough materials of the one shown on the right hand side, you can press square to go into details, and then press the triangle button to add that specific item to your wish list. This way, when you go to the quest desk and you're searching for a quest, you can actually press square and search by specific items that you have on your wish list to see which quests give that specific item, so you don't have to go through checking the rewards for every single one. Also, if you like the way one of your weapons looks better than another one, but you still want the stats from the other one, you can actually press square over your weapon and change the appearance of it, like change the skin to look like one of your other weapons, without actually changing the weapon. I believe everyone should already know this, but just in case you don't, when you go into critical condition, when you get downed in combat, don't just stand still, always move around, like toggle your analog stick around, and this will make your revive bar fill up a lot quicker. Also, I recommend this for pretty much every game I play, but make sure you're turning like the blur off in your settings. It makes a lot of difference in this game as it's all really fast paced. Also, if you are playing on console, make sure you put it on performance mode. It helps a lot as well. But anyway, guys, those are all the tips I wanted to share for this game. If you do have any extra tips you didn't hear in this video, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.